Okay, I think it looks like we are live and I think everything's working. I'll wait for a couple of comments to show up so that I know you can see and hear me. And I'm going to share this to my group. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Okay, things seem to be working. Hopefully, the AirPods will stay intact and connected to my phone. Good morning, Sonia. Hello, Natalie. Hello, Janice. Good morning, Keisha. Good morning, Sonia. Hello, Sandy. Hello, friends. Happy Sunday. How is everybody doing? Hello, Nicole. Good morning, Kelly. Does everybody have their coffee or tea or whatever it is you like to drink in the morning? Good morning, Heather. Mm. Ooh, that is good. I'm sorry, I was like a couple minutes late because I was brewing my next cup of coffee. I'm just going to put on my slippers. My feet are cold. Oh, one day I will start these lives and be like have everything together and we'll start smoothly. But you know what? You guys know this is just me. This is me as you take it as you see me. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning. Coffee in hand, taking a break from making Christmas cards to see what lovely things I'm going to craft. Well, that's a lot of pressure, Janice. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Is everyone having kind of like a busy weekend or has it been a quiet weekend? I always feel like weekends in December are kind of like next level busy with events and shopping and getting things ready for the holidays. So it's been a busy one for us. We actually had two dinner parties this weekend, and which feels a bit weird because for so long we haven't gone out and gone to people's houses. And this week, Friday night, we were invited to a friend's house, and then yesterday, my son's parents invited us and a few other families over, and it was really nice. It was actually really nice to be socializing again and just to connect with friends. And so it was a nice weekend. Um, oh, Shirley is snowed in. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you. And Natalie, I saw your comment. Thank you so much for your comment about my hair. I actually curled it because we were going out this weekend. So thank you. Okay, so you guys keep commenting. I know lots of people love to check the comments and see what everyone's up to and what you're saying. So I will go back and check the comments later. But a couple of things that I am going to share with you. Actually, for those that have never watched me before, first of all, thank you for being here. Comment below if you're a newbie and you're joining for the first time. My name is Zara Premji. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Markham, Ontario, Canada. And every Sunday morning around 10 a.m. Eastern, I like to do a Facebook Live crafting show. So I always design something or some things and feature a particular stamp set or bundle or other product. And my hope is always to just provide inspiration, maybe some entertainment, some fun chatter, and to just kind of make it feel like we're having coffee together. So thank you so much for being here. It's always so nice to see all the names popping up and all the comments. So thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. So if you're watching the replay, I also love to hear that. Please comment below and I'll tell you what we're going to be doing today. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Rhonda. Thanks for joining, friends. Easter, what's in my coffee? Yes, that's a really good question. So we are going to be playing with the Seasons Blessings stamp set. Now, if you haven't seen this or if you haven't noticed it or don't even know where you can find it in the Stampin' Up! Catalogs, comment below. I'm interested in knowing whether this is indeed a sleeper stamp set or if everybody knows about it and I was just kind of the last one to jump on the bandwagon. So I'm going to be showing you a few cards using that stamp set. It is super versatile. Has a kind of like a good modern feel to it. If you like plants and flowers, this is definitely a good one. The fonts are awesome. It's a really, really great stamp set. So one of the things that I do Sunday mornings now is I love to send out the card that I'm making. So if you share this video, and if you like what you're seeing, I mean, obviously, if you like it and you share it, then please comment below that you've shared it, and I will enter you into a drawing to win the card that I'm going to be making today. And I love to send happy mail to people, so I would love it if you would share it, and just let me know that you've shared it so that I know to enter you into the drawing. So last week I made this card in the morning. This is one that I had cased from Alana Wharf. She's out in Winnipeg, I believe. And I loved the card so much that I just had to make it. And I did it with friends on Sunday morning. And I drew a winner. So everyone that shared commented below. And I entered you all into a drawing. And the winner of this card is Carol Ann Warren. So I don't know if I saw Carol Ann's name pop up. I know that sometimes she catches the replay. So, Carol Ann, if you're watching, send me a message with your address so that I can put this in the mail to you. And I can't wait to send some happy mail. So I'll be doing the same thing today. If you do share the video, like I said, I will enter you into a drawing to win the card that I am sharing today. So without further ado, and you'll want to stick around to the end because I'm going to show a card that I'll be making, or actually two cards, and then I'll show you some other sneak peeks because I'm going to be using some new catalog product with the stamp set that I showed you, and I will show you some sneak peeks featuring some of that product at the end. So stick around and I will show you some other cards. So let me just flip the camera down. Actually, I'm going to quickly look at the comments. Okay. Aw, thank you, Janice. Thank you. That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet. I love your comments. Okay, so Janice Keels is saying that this is a sleeper for sure. Nicole said sleeper. Sandra says it hasn't made her radar yet. Okay, so let's see if we can get this on your radar after today. It's a really cute set, and I really, really enjoyed playing with it. So let me flip the camera down and then we will get started. And hopefully my AirPods will cooperate because that really threw me off on Wednesday. Okay. Let me move this. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see everything. And I will shift my computer. So I'll continue watching the comments on my computer. So please keep the conversation going. Hello, my friend Jamie. Happy Sunday morning. Okay, so we are going to be playing with a stamp set called Season's Blessings. I have had this on my shelf for probably 3 or 4 months now, but today is the first day that it's actually seeing ink. And so you can find this on page 94 of our annual catalog. That's this big catalog here. And it is a really great versatile stamp set. So it's got some really great images in it and it has some awesome sentiments. So may your day be filled with good things. So that would be so nice for a birthday or an anniversary or, you know, just anyone that you just want to send a card to that says, I hope your day is filled with awesomeness. So thankful for all you do. I have so many people in my life that I would send a card with that sentiment to, wishing you well and season's blessings. So you can kind of get a feel for the different types of cards you might make with this stamp set. And hopefully you can see the versatility of it. What I also love about this stamp set is that it's got coordinating dies. So here's the stamp set. It is a photopolymer stamp set, meaning it's clear all the way through. And we also have a set of coordinating dies called the seasonal basket dies. And funny enough, my favorite die in this die set, probably the reason I bought the bundle to begin with, I didn't actually end up using yet. So I can't wait to use it, but I love this basket here. And I haven't put this on my magnetic sheet, so everything's sticking. But this really cute basket die here, I mean, you can probably see lots of possibilities, but there's a lot of fun things you can do with that. So I'm going to continue playing around with this die set, but there are a variety of different dies that will cut out the images. But I'm going to show you a card first that you can do that doesn't actually use the dies. So if you don't have a die cutting machine or you just kind of want a quick and easy, you can absolutely use the stamp set without the dies. So that is in the annual catalog, and we will get started really shortly with the card. I do also really want to quickly mention that our new mini catalog, which launches in January, is the pre-order for that has now started. So as demonstrators, we can start to order catalogs to send out to customers or anyone else that might be interested. So if you don't already have a demonstrator, if you live in Canada, and if you would like a copy of the catalog mailed to you, then just send me a message and I will get this in the mail to you as soon as mine arrive. They should be arriving hopefully this week, Tuesday. Also happening in January is our biggest promotion of the year called Celebration. And what this means is that for every $60 you order, you're going to get to pick an item for free in this little brochure. I can't show you the insides of it yet, but let me just assure you that there is a lot of goodness in there. I'm also going to be playing with some new product from that new mini catalog, and so you'll get to see some brand new paper. Okay, so let's start first with a really, really easy card. This would be one that would be perfect for a beginner level, okay? Beginner level stamper, so someone that just is kind of new, or even if you just don't have a ton of time and you want to make something really quickly. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Natalie. All right, so keep the chatter going in the comments because I do like to look up and make sure that everyone's still here and that I'm still live and, and just to hear what you guys are up to. Okay, so I'm starting with a note card and envelope. You can buy a package of 20 of these pre-cut and pre-scored note cards and envelopes. They are a little smaller than our standard size cards, but really, really good for quick and easy cards. So this is the card that I'll be showing you. And I'm going to actually be doing a cool technique called masking. Okay, so what you see, the image with the leaves, it doesn't actually, you can't see the overlap over the basket. And so I'm going to show you a little technique for that. And again, so I'm going to use this Post-it note here. So all you need is a note card, envelope, your stamps, your ink, and a Post-it note. So some of you might be familiar with this technique if you are, if you've been stamping for a while. But I'm going to show it to you because even though I've seen it so many times, I often forget I forget to do it. So this is hopefully going to be one that will inspire you to go and get out your stamps and do some of that overlapping technique called masking. So I'm going to start by taking my smoky slate ink and I'm just, excuse me, going to stamp the basket onto my card like so. Okay. I love smoky slate ink. I love this shade of gray. Then I'm going to take the basket and I'm going to stamp it again onto the Post-it note. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cut it out anyway. And I actually think I might still have oh, here we go. Okay. So what you would do is you would then take your scissors and you would start to fussy cut this. Now, there's a die for this, but if you don't, I'm trying to make a card for someone who might not have the dies or have the die cutting machine. So you would just basically cut around the border of that image and you would be left with this Post-it note piece that you can then stick over the basket that you've stamped onto your card. Does that make sense? Then you grab your ink, whatever color you'd like to stamp the leaves in. I'm using soft succulent and I'm going to ink this up. Oh, thank you for sharing, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Okay, so then I'm going to take this stamped image or this inked up image and I'm just going to stamp it over where I have put down that Post-it. Okay, so now you can see that the leaves are coming out of the basket. And when you go to remove this, you don't see that it's overlapping the image. Okay, so that's just a kind of a fun and easy way to use this stamp set and use the basket and not have that overlapping. You don't have the ink overlapping each other. So I'm just going to use this sentiment that says wishing you well and stamp that right there in Night of Navy. And I think this card is super cute. I love the modern feel of these images. I think that they are just so fun. And then I'm just going to take these are new. These are called Classic Matte Dots. And I can tell you now that I will probably use at least 10 packs of these because I love the colors. I love the sizes. And there's gray, black, vanilla, and white. So just such good neutral embellishments. So let's see if this will work for me now. So I'm just going to take two of the little ones, two of the babies, and here's the mama. Okay, and there you go. You have a really quick and easy card using the stamp set, using a fun little technique that anybody can do. And you've got a couple of cards ready there to send off to a friend. So tell me what you think of this. Do you like it so far? Sandra, has this made it onto your radar yet? Or do you need to see more? Okay, let's move on to the next card. So I'm going to show you the card. If you don't want to see it, look away. this is the card that I'm going to be making. So I'm going to show you a couple of new products here. One of them, oh my goodness, someone's going to have to tell me the name of this embossing folder. Actually, I'm going to have to check it because I've already forgotten. It's a new one. It's called Hive. It's called Hive 3D embossing folder. So you can see these little honeycombs, or like just that shape there is really, really cute. And then I'm using this new designer series paper called Heart and Home. So let's take a quick peek at the Heart and Home designer series paper. I feel like I might have showed this to you, but I don't know. Feels new to me every time I open it. So we've got these really pretty patterns and images on one side of the paper. I've already cut into it because we did use some of this at our recent demonstrator event called On Stage. So I'm just pulling out some of the different pieces so you can see the variety of patterns here. Okay, so we've got these patterns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then when you flip it over, there's all sorts of really cool wood grain papers. Okay, so different wood grain patterns, so versatile. You can stamp on them, but they just create a really fun background for your cards. So we're going to be using this designer series paper, and I will be doing some stamping and die cutting. So let's get started with this card. I am using a Misty Moonlight card base. So I've got that here. My original card was side folding. This is going to be a top fold. And then here is maybe one of my favorite patterns of that designer series paper. So I'm just going to stick this down onto my card. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal, which I might actually run out of in this live because I can feel I'm getting close to the end. So I'm just going to stick that down onto the card base, and we've got a really cool backdrop, just very pretty pattern. So then I'm going to take my embossed piece here. It's a bit smaller than the designer series paper, excuse me. And I just want to kind of flip the top corner and bottom left corner. So I'm just going to use my bone folder and just kind of grab the corner. You can do the other side as well, just to break up the fibers a little bit. Give it a little bit of that vintage kind of feel. And you can, add some ink to this by using your blending brushes. I'm also going to do a little bit of splatter on here. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Yes, that designer series paper is lovely and great idea, Shirley. A one sheet wonder would be awesome. Okay, so before I stick this down, I'm going to show you one of my favorite techniques, which is adding a little bit of ink splatter to the background. So I'm just going to take my Misty Moonlight Stampin' Write marker. You can use any marker or Stampin' Blend for this. I want something darker, just to kind of break up all the white space here. Okay, so I'm just flicking the brush tip against the cap, and then I'm going to take my liquid glue here. When you use our 3D embossing folders, sometimes it can cause the cardstock to curve a little bit. So that's why I find using liquid glue just helps to make sure that nothing's going to be sort of popping up on the sides or where it's not supposed to be. Actually, I want this on an angle. So just offsetting that a little bit and just folding up those corners there. Okay. So we've got that ready to go. And then let's do our stamping and die cutting. I'm going to do a little bit of magic here. So I'm going to take my soft succulent ink. I'm taking that same image again. And I'm going to show you at the end another card that I've done that is very holiday themed. So it's kind of a modern Christmas card, I'd say, using the poinsettias in the stamp set. So I'm going to stamp that in soft succulent. And then I will stamp my basket again in smoky slate. There we go. So you've got that stamped. I just used a scrap piece of basic white there. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the sentiment in just a moment, because I'm going to do a fun little technique with some clear embossing powder. So once you've done that, you would go ahead and take your dies. So I would be using these two dies here. And what's really cool about this die is it's actually going to cut this image into 2 different pieces. Okay, so you would go ahead and take your dies, and by the magic of television or video, we already have that done. Okay, so I've got my basket done and I have these 2 separate pieces. So the die will cut this out into 2 separate pieces that I can just stick down and tuck in. Okay, so we'll put that aside for a moment, and I want to do my sentiment now. So I want to do some heat embossing here, but you know, our heat embossing color, or sorry, our emboss powders come in, I think you can get 6 different colors. So they have 2 different bundles. One of them is our essentials, which has black, white, and clear. And then we have the metallics, which is gold, silver, and copper. Now, sometimes you might find that you want to stamp your sentiment in a different color. So you might want to emboss it in a different color. And so I'm going to show you how you can do that. So I'm going to grab my stuff and make sure I have it close by because you want to work a little fast here. So I've got my little die cut label. Okay, so I'm just going to use my embossing buddy on that. I've got my clear emboss powder here, and I've got my Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm going to grab my sentiment. So I'm using the one that says "So Thankful for All You Do." And I'm going to ink that up well. So you want to make sure that your ink pad is nice and juicy when you're doing this. So I'm actually going to be embossing this using Misty Moonlight. I'm going to leave that there for a moment while I keep this ready. And I should probably grab my tweezers. Actually, I'll do that after. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this. I've got a small surface area, so I'm going to have to lean in a little bit, and I'm going to stamp that in Misty Moonlight ink. And then I'm going to take my clear emboss powder and dump that over it. So you can see that there's this sort of like hazy kind of look to it. And it's going to look way better once I emboss that. So let me just set that down. So this is just a fun way to emboss in different colors. So you would need the clear emboss powder for that, and then any ink color you want. I'm going to grab my tweezers here and pardon the noise for a moment while I heat set this. Okay, I'm going to show this to you close up. I hope that you can see when I move it around. Let me see. I'm going to look at my own camera here. Can you see the sheen when I kind of tilt it back and forth? So it's in Misty Moonlight, but it's got a more intense shine to it because it's heat embossed. So just a fun way, if you have the clear emboss powder, you can emboss in any color you'd like. So I just thought that was kind of neat. So I'm now going to put my card together. So I'm going to take my basket first, and I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals, one at the top and one at the bottom opposite corner. And I'm doing this first. So when you are aligning your basket, because I've offset this piece of embossed cardstock, I don't want to use this as my edge. I want to actually look at this part here and align it with the rest of the card. So I'm just kind of looking at that and lining that up as best as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to tuck these pieces. And because I've kind of separated my dimensionals and haven't put, more than 2, I can tuck behind and position this where I want. So I'll do the same thing with this one here. Okay. And you could add more of the flowers to this, like you could make it a fuller arrangement. I did really like that sort of modern, simple look of this. So you can go to town and zhuzh it up even more if you want. What color is the sentiment cardstock? Oh, good question, Kathy. I didn't mention that. It's actually fresh freesia. I love Fresh Freesia, and I just love it with Misty Moonlight. So I don't know what you guys think about that color combo, but I am quite feeling it right now. All right, so let's see if my linen thread will show its face. Where did it go? You know, when I start stamping, stuff starts to go missing. So maybe you guys can see. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Sometimes these things are sitting right in front of my face and I don't see them. Does that happen to anybody? Okay, gonna take my linen thread here and I'm going to tie a bow. So I always, I don't tend to use a ton of new product before it's available to everybody because I don't want ever for people to be looking at it and being like, oh, I can't, like it's so pretty, but I can't buy it. So that's why I decided to use a bundle that's already existing and just show you an example of how you could use it with new product. But for those of you that don't have this paper, this can be easily modified to using any paper that you might have that is currently available, or even stuff that you have in your stash that you haven't used for a long time. You can see that the designer series paper, it just kind of creates a background, but it doesn't, you can use any paper that you want. So so this is an easily duplicatable card, and all of the products except for the new paper and that embossing folder are available in my online store. So you can actually just shop that bundle now if you like it. And now you have some card inspiration for it. So that is done. And then I'm just going to take my sentiment here and I'm going to pop some dimensionals on that. Okay, I see a long comment from Janice French, which I'm going to read in just a moment because it looks like a good one. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that down like that, like this. Okay, my like fake Italian accent. Okay, so there we go. The card is almost done. I'm going to pause for a second and read Janice's comment. She says, "Oh, Zara, you have done it once again. You are an awesome caddy sleeper finder and gotta get it now kind of demonstrator. This DSP is so fresh. Love the card and the heat embossing technique." Thank you, thank you. Oh goodness, I love your comments, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, we need to embellish. We need to put some gems on here. So hang with me for a sec while I find them. Here we go. And I think I'm just going to stick with the gray ones again. I don't know. Can you guess which color I'm going to run out of first? So there we go. And using a larger one here. Excuse me. So that, my friends, is the card for today. This is the one that I just love it. I find it so fun, and you can do so many different things with it. I could just see the possibilities with all sorts of different kinds of papers and colors. So I hope that you like that. I'm going to show you another card that I did that is using the Season's Blessings sentiment. And it's just this fun kind of modern, clean looking, I think it's clean looking Christmas card. So it's a Season's Blessings. And then I did use the poinsettias. I did two different colors. I did the Blushing Bride and the Real Red because I wanted to infuse a little bit of pink. And then for the leaves, I did the Soft Succulent and the Garden Green. And the reason I did Garden Green, because it's actually not my most used green, is because I used a little piece of that Heart and Home Designer Series paper that has Garden Green in it. Okay, and then texture embossed the background just using our Tasteful Textile. This is one of those embossing folders that you could use anytime for any card for, masculine, feminine, birthday, anniversary, anything. So this is like a must-have in the arsenal. And then, I just kind of stamped the sentiment and added some of the wonderful gems on here. So tell me what you think of that card. And I'm going to bring back the other one that I had done. I'm just going to see if I've missed any comments or questions. Okay, so here is the simple, like really quick and easy card that you can do. And I showed you that masking technique. And then this is the card that we made today using some other fun techniques, including heat embossing in a in an ink color. And then we've got this little Christmas card here. So this is featuring, like I said, this is the Season's Blessings stamp set. If you don't already have this, I'm telling you, you will love it. It is so fun and so versatile. Maybe you can see the possibilities with these leaves here for fall cards. And oh, it's just so pretty. I'm mad at myself for not using it more. So we've got those cards there. And then I promised that I would show you some new catalog products. So for those of you that did not attend on stage, I'm going to show you some cards made with the the Blessings of Home stamp set and bundle. And I really, at this point, can't remember if I've showed them already. So just pretend it's all new. So we've got the Blessings of Home stamp set. This is a new stamp set that's coming out in January. It's a red rubber stamp set, and it's part of the Heart and Home bundle. And then there is the Flowers of Home dies that go with it. And these are some of the cards that we made at On Stage. So this is one using that same paper here. So you can see the versatility of that pattern. And then we've got this one here, which is Fresh Freesia, and using this paper pattern here, some of the die cuts. And then we've got this one here, where that same garden green paper has been used as the entire backdrop for the card, and some fun sponging techniques. So those are featuring the Heart and Home. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I really want to thank you for joining me. Remember to share the video, and I will be entering you into a drawing to win this card, which I will send to you in the mail. So please do share it, and make sure you comment below that you have shared it so that I know. And it's always helpful if you're sharing it publicly, just so that I can see who shared it, even if you forget to comment. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. As I mentioned, you can get all of these products, except for this paper, in the online store. If you use my host code, you will be getting a tutorial bundle from me, as well as a free gift and a handmade thank you card for me next month. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Did I use cork trees on the first one? Shirley, are you referring to the buffalo check card? That one is cork, but no cork on any of the other cards. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day and week ahead, and I will be back here Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Bye for now.